So this is basically like a small F-150 windshield if you think about it, because we got these that come up. So I got overhang over the edges. Middle is tacked down all the way across. I've made all these neat fingers here that I can split with my finger. And that evens up. See how so even that is? Now they just need a tiny bit of shrink. Same with up top. This is going to be a little bit more difficult because we have this bigger piece. So you have to work this out a little bit and then kind of, you know, utilize it into the middle. So I'll shrink the top first. And you use a little bit of your hand, kind of spread those fingers. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to go left to right. But what I like to do is get this whole left side locked down first. But I'll work it up a little bit. So I'm kind of splitting these fingers, taking the shrink upward, and I'm keeping the heat gun moving. And I'm moving this thing around pretty quick. Got a little bit of heat behind here just to lift everything back up. I'll come back to this corner a little bit more. So now, when I start taking this side up, go ahead and squeegee all that up to where I've shrunk. Look at that. Now I got some more fingers. Here's a pretty big one right here. So I'm gonna split that here and just knock down some of that finger. Same thing right here. We got a pretty big one on the end. Split that up. Come back to the side. Work that. So now I can get this side up like that. All right. Start working over here, and I'm always moving this around, getting this shrink even. Kind of pulling on it a little bit. Get a little bit more air behind there. So now I'm just gonna keep this, take this up a little bit, little by little. Let it cool down. You know, there's a little patience you got to give these. Alright, so you can see it's getting a little bit weird, so I'm going to give it a little bit more heat from behind. Alright, so got that down. Heat, this middle down. And you see, I'm just using the heat gun itself to actually push this material. Alright, the whole side is good. I'll work on the bottom, so let's keep this going left to right. And I'm going to lock this edge down first. I always want to lock that down first. Work it down a little bit, kind of chop these fingers with my fingers. Work it down a little bit more. You gotta remember, these films, they block a lot of heat, so they're gonna require a little bit more heat to shrink them. That stuff should lay down very easily. Up here. Finish this bottom off. Whoop. So I'll just get that whole piece down. Always keeping that heat gun moving. heat under there. Pull that whole side down. Put that down. Alright, so 3/4 of it's done. Here is technically going to be your hardest part because you got all this tension scrunched over this side. So what we're going to do, I'll try to move that over a little bit and do the same exact thing. So I'm going to heat this up, and you see how this is letting me relieve a lot of this tension to the side here. Boom, look how much smaller that finger is, and this whole side's locked. So now same thing, we're going to come back, we're just going to evenly heat everything. I'm keeping the heat gun close, but I'm keeping it moving straight lines. Whenever the film turns and it smooths itself out, that's when it's ready to squeegee. If I was to squeegee through all this right now, absolutely it would crease. So let's keep doing that. I'm just kind of spreading it with my fingers a little bit of heat behind to help everything shrink all together. Up. Bring that back up a little bit, get a little bit of heat under there. Sometimes on these tight corners you gotta do a little pocket shrinking. There it is.